Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back for some more middle to high tier Japanese tank gameplay. Today featuring the Hori production rather heavily, since I don't die. This is a battle from the 11th of December, and you'll see here why I started realizing that I needed to get a talisman on this thing as quickly as I possibly could. And it may have been this battle, I think, that convinced me to do it. I can't honestly remember. But as we start out in a domination on Normandy, which is one of my favorite maps, despite the sun being horribly against us in this battle, I still pushed forward as quickly as I could to move in for the A point, which I like to try and capture from this side of the map rather than going up the hill for the C point. The other side of the map, I usually will go for B first because it's basically uncontestable from this side of the map. Not exactly sure what I was looking at there. I don't really remember. But as I'm moving forward to get up to the A point here, with the sun horribly, blindingly in our face, I somehow get completely stopped by that little tiny edge of trench there. So, yay physics.
We've captured most of the
But,
strategic zones.
regardless, I was able to move into the A point pretty quickly afterwards and set myself up in a fairly decent position, observing the usual likely approaches for the enemy coming in from their side.
Guide on me. Most of the strategic
And
zones are
sunlight
captured.
notwithstanding, I was still able to get the capture there. Backed away at normal speed without using the crazy reverse trick because it really wasn't necessary. Also, I wanted to be able to stop my reverse quickly enough to fire back at an enemy who revealed themselves if I was able to do so. So my T-44-100 right off to the right of me there gets taken out, and I'm not exactly sure where it came from, but I'm pretty confident, judging by the noise coming from the left side, that there's going to be somebody coming down this road right here, and I'm going to get an ambush on them. Graphical game glitches aside, which was a result of me moving the camera, clipping through the buildings to my left there. I backed off so that hopefully any enemies driving up here would not be able to wall peek around the corner and see me and spoil my ambush.
Our victory is near.
I was a bit paranoid about getting hit from the right side, so I kept an eye there, but you can probably tell what's coming up the left, coming up from my left side there. And that is definitely a mouse, and he is definitely covering what I thought I was going to ambush, so no more need to wait for the ambush there. Time to push forward and see what we can find up here. So an enemy heavy tank gets marked just behind me as I'm lining up on this rather large turret target here. And I'm actually able to kind of hide myself a little bit here from counterfire, although he didn't exactly know where I was coming from at first. As you might expect, I didn't get a good follow-up shot there because I was definitely not shooting at the right spot, although I kind of had to risk it because I didn't think I could get through the frontal turret armor. I did get a little bit of a hit on the lower front plate, but it didn't punch through, so I'm kind of figuring we're going to take some damage here, if not get completely destroyed. And somehow my next shot managed to punch through the lower front armor on the T-34 and kill him, as I take a second shot from this guy that I was at first quite concerned about, and then realized it was an M41, and thankfully all his follow-up third shot did was knock out my engine and not my gunner or my loader or my breach, to his great detriment, as I was able to follow up and kill him. Now, I'm still a little worried about this FV-42 coming up behind him, though, but thankfully he did not see me, and I was able to get my tank reloaded again for a third follow-up shot and finish off the FV-4202. So, kind of turned from a, we're about to die, into a 3-kill streak quickly there. And yeah, It's things like this that make me love the whole reproduction.
Cover me!
And I wasn't even halfway done yet. Things like that, too, where I just bounced a shot that otherwise probably would have done pretty significant damage. Now, I can't see what it is that shot at me, I just know that it didn't hurt me. And with the mobility damage I've taken, all I can really do here is hope that the team can come up and get shots into the guy, which they did promptly drive forward and start doing. And the RU-251 got killed, but he did at least fire off all of the smoke rounds that pretty much covered me from any follow-up shots coming.
Need backup. The enemy controls most of the strategic zones.
As my repair finishes, I don't want to go driving into the smoke and give whatever enemy there that can't hurt me from the front a side shot. So I hung back, waited for the smoke to die out, and then slowly started creeping forward to see what I could find. Kind of crept up on him on a little bit to wall peak, and discover a T-92 driving up. Got a pretty good hit into him. Thankfully, I actually wasn't sure if I was going to get a kill shot on him from that angle through the upper part of his turret. And then we discovered that it was a Conqueror that had shot me from over here to the right, and I don't understand why he didn't penetrate. He must have had a hard time getting a good shot into the bushes I have on the top of my whole reproduction or something, but it definitely he should have had better luck there with 2 shots into me than he did. I also made a very poor shot into him, and then he manages to get a good penetrating shot, but thankfully, again, all he did was hurt my engine and not destroy my ability to return fire, which gives me a great follow-up shot into his lower front plate. And then, thankfully, an M103 drives by and gets immediately occupied by tanks away from me and not towards me because I was an easy sitting duck for him. So I kept him marked for my teammates, and they kept him occupied while I could repair. And then I just sat here and waited and hoped that I would be able to repair fast enough to get a shot into him. And nothing else would come up from any other direction to threaten me here. Because this battle is going in our favor, but it's by no means settled yet. We're actually kind of low on tanks at the moment on the battlefield. We're pretty heavy up at the C point, but that's it. Now, thankfully, there's a smoke screen over there that the M103 is in the middle of, and as I finish up my repair, I thankfully did not have to reload, so that was a blessing yet again. And I'm able to back off, use the speed in reverse for the whole reproduction, and catch the completely unaware M103 in the side. I didn't get the kill shot I wanted, but I did manage to set him on fire, and I don't think he quite realized where it had come from, thankfully, and thought it had come from down the road. And by the time he realized and noticed what any other threat there was, I was reloaded and able to get the shot that I wanted into his main crew compartment. And that was the 6th kill of the battle for the whole reproduction, and I still wasn't done yet.
Attention to the designated grid square! Attention to the designated grid zone! Yes! Let's keep the pressure on! Victory is close!
So I really am not a fan of shooting into, or driving into especially, the enemy spawn. So I'm trying to get down here to help take the B point with my teammate that's down there, hoping that I can make it there fast enough. And our teammate, who is capping the A point, gets knocked out by an M41 somewhere. So I'm going to come down here and see if I can spot where he came from, because it sounded like he had come from the right. I wasn't 100% sure, but the shot that killed him sounded like it had come from the right. So I'm investigating down the seawall, hoping to spot basically anything moving. I know it was an M41 that had killed my teammate down there capturing the B point. So I'm moving in to try and hunt down the M41 that had knocked him out and then go capture the B point. And lo and behold, what to my wondering eyes should appear but the M41 that had knocked out our teammate at the B point. And there was kill number 7. I have had I don't know exactly how many battles in the whole reproduction where I've had 7 kills, but it's at least 4, and I think it's actually more than that. There was a point where I thought to myself, I should have just made a compilation video of all the times I got 7 kills in this thing, but then I realized really quickly that I didn't want to have to talk and narrate for that long, so... At the end of this battle, I'll show you a little bit of proof that I've had multiple 7-kill battles with the whole reproduction, so... That will unfortunately be the end of the killing I got to do in this battle, but it's not the end of the scoring yet, as I am going to make it up here for the B point for the capture.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
So while I don't like shooting into the enemy spawn, I am certainly going to point my gun towards it in anticipation of any enemies coming out of it. I'm not going to not shoot anyone that comes driving out of it and moves towards me or engages myself or my teammates. I'm not that against it. I just don't go looking for it. If it comes to me, then so be it, but... In the meantime, instead of actively hunting down players coming from their spawn, I'm at least going to set up here in a defensive ambush trap spot and cover anybody who might sneak their way down to the B point. So I'm going to line up, and then I just can't go a battle without using the Speedy Gonzalez trick with the whole reproduction, so... Threw her into high-speed reverse, and we were off to the races, and I backed off a little bit to where I would be able to get into a defensive position on the B point, but not be so obvious as someone came around the corner. Also because it's hilarious to get the whole reproduction into super high reverse speed like that. And as to the team chat there, yeah, my answer is pretty much get those RP modification tier boosters for completing a tier of modifications for vehicles. Use vehicles that are in the direct chain of the vehicle you're trying to research, so you get the direct line 10% extra boost. Use the daily arcade assault mission, whether you want to play the air assault or the tank assault, doesn't matter. You get a booster either way. Hope that you get an RP booster, and if you win, hope that you get the 300% RP booster. And use those as well, and then, you know, a premium account. Premium vehicles, of course, help, and then victories. You want those wins to get the 120% RP boost to go along with the 67% Silver Lion boost. So no other enemies came along, but as you can see, first place, 7 kills, 2 captures, no deaths, and an awful lot of score coming up. Now just imagine from yesterday's video with the 500% booster if I'd have used it for today. Also, I had more medals come in than a North Korean general there. And you can see the amount of research I got. Very nearly completed my FPE, but not quite. But I got it pretty quickly after that. And then I put a talisman on very shortly afterwards from the results of this battle too. So there you can see, and then in a moment, here's another screenshot of an identical battle result, but I didn't record the battle, and this is basically why I put the talisman on the whole reproduction, because I kept having battles like that. But thank you all very much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this one in the comments below. We'll see you next time for more War Thunder, and have a great day as usual, everyone. Happy holidays!